Hey everybody. So Michael, as always, I was just sitting in my garden and reading, and the book is the Tao Te Ching, and it talks about influence, and the part I'm on is like influence, like your personal influence on the world, and um, I was just sitting there in my little, with my flowers around. I was coming in, I took a look at my little Oklahoma rose bush, and I kind of realized, gardeners don't grow plants. We allow them to grow. And what I mean by that is like when I'm a gardener and I'm out planting things and everything, I don't actually do anything to the plant itself. I do everything to the environment around the plant. I water it, I put clean dirt in it, make sure that it has a nice sizable pot, and then I just leave the plant alone. And it just does its thing. Perfect example is this pothos plant. It's incredibly resilient, but this particular one came from a neighbor who moved out, and she just gave us quite a few plants, and that being one of them. And so we kind of nursed it back, but all I did was put some, bigger pot, fresh dirt, water, and then sunlight. That's it. And everything happened on its own. It takes care of itself, and that's, I feel like, one of the things a lot of people kind of take for granted or take advantage of is they believe that their influence was much greater than it actually was. One line in the Tao Te Ching, which kind of reminds me of this, is that the more rules governors put on their people, the more criminals there will be. And that is, in a way, kind of like Jurassic Park. Life will find a way. And so if you try and contain something you don't know or don't understand, people, for example, or life in general, it's going to get bad. You see you can't do this, can't do that. And of course, you do need structure. That's why when it comes to plants, you put, the gardening stakes in to help them grow. I have a jasmine plant, and I put a tomato cage around, and she, I just climbed up that. But all you need to do is just give that life form, whatever it be, plant, dog, human, anything, give them what they need and leave them alone. That's usually the best approach to life. With plants, I don't do anything to the seed. I water that seed, and I fresh dirt and all that, but everything else it's the plant's own doing. And I got some Venus flytraps. I love carnivorous plants, and I got them from Target, and just those death boxes, like they were going to die. So I trimmed them up, put them in clean water, clean soil, all that sort of stuff. They're doing great. So a lot of times we just gotta back off, provide the people what they need, or what for sustainability. And this kind of touches upon my video I did the other about the poor can't really afford philosophy. It's because as a poor person, we're always striving to what we need, and if which is the basic primal stuff of food, water, shelter, and that's it. Once we have that, that's when we can actually pursue happiness and pursue enlightenment and all that. So, and I just kind of had this revelation when just looking at my little rose flowers, rose bush. It's just, we don't really need to do much other than provide what people need. But plants and people are different. I go to the store to get the dirt for the plant because the plant can't get in the car and drive, So there has to be some recognition of what the ability of that being can do. I go get the dog food. I don't have a dog, but I go get dog food for the dog. Because the dog can't get in the car and drive to the store. Same thing. But if a human is able to work and go and provide for themselves, they should be given that ability to. And then also, if you want the economy to grow, you want them to invest into more business, lower their rent or make the cost of living cheaper. Because once you remove the restrictions, you will allow them to grow into any direction they find. And yeah, it's just, yeah, that's kind of my point right there. And I kind of, you know, summed it up with gardeners don't grow plants. We allow the plants to grow. Yeah. Well, as always, I hope this does well for you guys. I hope you are doing well, my little rosebuds. And if you like this one, like, subscribe, that whole thing, the call to action, But once again, take it easy.